Hey, everybody, it's Sunday afternoon, and it is time for some Greyhawk Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition style. My name is Wiley Hobbit. Welcome to our channel. We're going to play Greyhawk Lives, and I'll let our Dungeon Master, Growed Up Geek, also known as Manny, tell us a little bit about the game and get things going.
Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday to you all. Thanks for tuning in to Greyhawk Lives. This is our little kind of fun romp through a world that's not exactly fair or bright and shiny, despite the better efforts of our kind-hearted and dedicated party. I'm Manny at Growed Up Geek on your social medias. This is our kind of take on postmodern Greyhawk. Gives the players a chance to kind of tell their own story, our own story, and gives it so that we have kind of room to exist and tell our own little story in our own little world. So we've had a great time. Before we get to our recap of an episode 2 weeks ago, let us meet our amazing players and their characters. Let's start with our foreign correspondent, Will. Tell us about Lapis.
Lapis is old and crotchety, less crotchety as time goes by, because there's only so much you can roleplay a crotchety person without someone wanting to throw you off overboard. And we're gonna maybe get on a ship, so let's tone down the crotchety. He's good. I like him. I like him more than my backup character, so he's safe for now.
I won't be doing anything rash with him.
No, then leave it to me. I'll do the rash shit with no co modifier and 11
You know what?
AC.
I think Lapis is done. So he yeets himself off the ship, and his brother Poppies appeared in his place.
I'm not there yet in my D&D career, but I will get there at some point. Just changing one letter in the name, just change class, and just be like, fuck it, I'm done. This is my creativity.
Just throw Junior at the end of it. I'm here to avenge my father.
There you go.
This one has 2 kids, so don't tempt me.
Instant storyline.
There you go. Backstory, same, just younger. Go. All right, let us go to our resident Goliath, which may be pertinent to today's episode. Perhaps, maybe, I don't know. Rob, tell us about Storm Chaser.
Oh, Storm Chaser has found his people, and they seem a little touchy. About that backup character, you may want to have that handy. I can't promise that this is going to be peaceful. Can't promise it at all. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun with my Goliath Barbarian and his first run-in with those of his kind out on the road. Woo-hoo.
And as we discussed in the Discord, without getting Scott a copyright violation for his channel, think Ballroom Blitz if it was covered by Limp Bizkit, if this thing devolves into a bar fight, is kind of the soundtrack I'm going to have in my head canon as this goes down. Should it go that way?
I like it.
All right, let us finish up last with our host and my good friend, Mr. Wiley Hobbit. Tell us about Selme.
Hi, everybody. I am, as named, Wiley Hobbit, and super stoked to sit in a player's chair today. I'm going to be playing Selme Isilme Fana. She is an elven ranger of the Fey Wanderer variety, now that we've all hit 3rd level and our characters start to sort of take shape. And she's a little overwhelmed as the door to the wharf rat is pulled open, and apparently there's a bunch of these large people out there in the world. She's only known one Goliath, and he's been kind and thoughtful and gentle and attentive to his friends. And then we open the door to the wharf rat, and she's seen in her years in the forest many, many deer in torchlight, and she now appears as if she is a deer in torchlight. And so our story unfolds. Take it away there, DM.
All right. So real quick, 2 weeks ago, the party picked up after defeating what basically kind of turned out to be like a black site prison and holding facility for some nefarious organization for some nefarious means. After defeating what appeared to be a guard, or at least a facilitator of the kind of site, they searched the rest of the place, found some cells, found a body, and found a clue that led the party to believe that their mentors, who have been missing for quite some time, had been here, perhaps even very recently. Beck, our doctor, not with us today, found actually his teacher, the Lord Doctor of the city of Greyhawk, dead in one of the cells, but not really decayed and not for a very long period of time. In one of the empty cells, Lapis found a feather, large chicken feather, belonging to his mentor. And the party put together that they've been there recently. Beck respectfully disposed of the body, kind of as a group idea to continue to burn these bodies, because who knows what's really going on in the city. While doing so, the party came along their second favorite NPC collectives, our Fellowship of the Flame, our cleric and druid genasi combo that the party finds very creepy and doesn't like, but thank God for Tensor, or else they'd probably be the ones you guys like the least. After encountering them, kind of scurrying them away and being done with them, Storm Chaser not too happy with their kind of modus operandi, just also being creepy. Put his foot down and really let him know that they're kind of meddling in their appearances, poorly timed and unappreciated, at least by the party. Party continued on through the mountains and down to the port city of Elmshire, seeking passage either to the Duchy of Ernst to strengthen what could become a strained alliance with the Free City of Greyhawk in these very troubling times, or perhaps finding some new information to potentially chase the trail of their missing mentors. After inquiring to a shipping company, which seemed to be less than inclined to assist the party in any way, they found a rowdy bar across from the docks where only one ship is moored up, apparently intentionally, named the Storm Giant. It is a average sailing ship with everything proportionally larger than your typical medium-sized creature. Upon stumbling into a rowdy bar, they find a bar full of Goliaths. Rowdy, drinking, singing, feats of strength, everything. And from here, we'll pick up and we'll start with me, some good old box text. The party enters the wharf rat, and the crowd made up entirely of Goliaths comes to a sudden halt. They all have dark skin, salt-damaged hair, straggly hair, wrinkles in the corner of their eyes from a lifetime of squinting into the sun. Take stock of the newcomers to the bar and slowly kind of start to turn towards one of their own seated in the back by himself at a table, stands up, about 30 to 40 human years old, very good looking, very well built physique. You can see through his sleeveless breastplate, long flowing hair. Looks at the party, kind of pushes stool, takes a step forward, draws a scimitar as he gets closer. You look like one of them mutineers. What do you say, lads? This him?
The Storm Chaser turns to Some and says, Friend Some, what is this mutineer?
She'll raise her hand to the fellow with the scimitar. I can assure you we are no mutineers. We've not even been on board a ship long enough to leave it in anger or to start an uprising. I assure you, we are just looking for information on some crates that were shipped and possibly seeking to book passage. And she'll kind of just put her hand up, clearly very, very nervous. And anybody paying attention would have seen her take a really deep breath before she spoke up.
Stormchaser listens to this and he looks at her with a concerned look. His face kind of hardens for a moment, and then he slowly breaks out into a smile and turns around and eyes the older Goliath and says, "Mutineer, you think I would be on board ship?" And he walks over, and that I would leave and start trouble and just leave? Are you calling me a coward? And he takes a step closer, and the smile on his face just gets larger as he kind of gets right into the guy's grill.
Turns, looks at the crowd of Goliaths who've just kind of edged towards the ends of their seats and looking around, just enraptured by this brief of encounters. What do you think, lads? Think mutineers come in and admit to their shame, their dishonor, or are they going to come in with strangers and pretend that they know nothing of their crimes, like we know nothing, like we weren't there? And the crowd kind of like murmurs to each other and starts to, and they all kind of edge ever closer as this encounter looks on. Turns back to Stormchaser. You are one of us. Look at you in here, knowing your honor is intact and that you are any man you want to be. Buy these a round of drinks, lads. And the bar erupts into cheer. Everybody goes back to drinking. Throws his arm around Stormchaser as he walks into. Sorry about that, lads. You know, me and the boys just trying to have some fun. We don't come across our own very often, and you prove to be one of the betters. Somebody truly embodying who we are. Didn't back down. Nothing. Brilliant. Well played, lads. And kind of apologies, you know, out to sea. Get kind of bored, don't get the people, just me and the lads. So, you know, apologies for our attempted humor. Let us buy you a drink and tell us all about everything. We don't, as we say, we don't get to land very often, so we miss lots of things. You lot look like you've seen something.
Out of character, damn it. You ruined what I had planned. This is oh boy. Anyway,
Right back at you just 3 minutes ago.
Stormchaser, he looks at him straight, and the smile looks momentarily confused, and then big gregarious and gives him a hug and squeezes him, happy to see one of his kind for the first time since he left the mountains. And I've never heard of my kind being out to sea on that boat. This is new.
We can be anything we want to, mate. Don't feel the need to be what other people expect you to be. We are outliving our lives with the spirits of our people. We just do so on our own little plot with our own little tribe. These lads, they're very into the crowd participation part of the show. And we're out. We're our own tribe, going where we may, living the life that we choose, taking what is ours, giving to those less fortunate, and punishing those who just mean ill upon this world.
This interesting life you live. Come, meet my friends. And
Yes,
he almost drags the captain, or well, I guess captainish person over. Friend Selmaid. Friend Lepis, come. What is your name?
He gives a quick little bow. Theron Stormcaller, Captain Theron Stormcaller, and these are my lads, the crew of the Storm Giant, right out there. I was like, you've seen it.
He's good name.
Yes, Selme Isilme Fana. It's a pleasure to meet you. Yeah, and she's looking around like, what? A little taken aback by everything, I think.
So he kind of, the difference in height is probably pretty staggering. Just a very kind of curious. Wow, I don't mean to stare, my lady. Just we don't, the difference is obvious. We don't get to see people much smaller than us. Obviously, we struggle enough in this world as it is to then see, people smaller. It's just it's good to see you. I am happy to meet you.
Of course,
Captain Theron Stormcaller, at your service.
Yes, of course. No harm. No offense taken. It's a lovely ship you have. Yes, it's big.
Well, the lads need the space. Just it can't be all crammed up on some kind of galley or something. We need room to exist.
Yes.
Oh, and you, good sir. It's kind of respectful around the elderly. Man respects his elders.
I'm Lapis. Nice to meet you. I'll stretch my hand, and if he touches it, he's gonna get a sap because I've been holding shocking grasp this entire time, thinking we're gonna fight, and now we're drinking, so he's just gonna get a static. Sorry, I was getting ready to kick your ass, but never mind. We're drinking now.
Yes, like he gives a really hearty laugh. Looks like you had some jokes of your own. Very well played. Well played.
I'll kick your ass. Joke.
So he kind of makes his way back to the table that he was at when you first came into the bar, and makes a point to clear. And he kind of hangers on around and gives some space. Come, sit. Like I said, the town is the town, and nobody comes until we leave. So we basically have the place to ourselves. I take it y'all didn't come by ship. So you have come from elsewhere, which means you bring news of elsewhere. And if there's one thing that the lads love to trade on, it's information from port to port. And if there's anything that's been going on that you can tell us, we would be glad to hear it. And in exchange, we'd be happy to give information of what we know from where we've been. I need somebody to talk to. It's just been me and the lads.
Yes, of course. Let us go sit, and she
Yes.
looks around, and make merry. Yes, this is nice. I'm glad we're here now. I wasn't sure at first, but you seem very nice.
Yeah, they were looking kind of shifty in the beginning, but they're okay. You're paying for drinks, right? Yeah, you're good. You're okay. You're fine.
Yeah, no, we don't pay for drinks here. We just
Oh.
we drink here. There's a subtle difference.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'll revise my statement. Go back to previous.
So he kind of waves everybody over. This is the nicest place, so their choices are somewhat limited. We've got rum, and we've got some kind of ale, or so he says. That's it. And kind of flags over the only human in the bar, probably the tavern keeper, kind of comes over with like 4 tankards and places them all in front of him. My drinks are here. What can he get you? And the man kind of stands there like exhausted, with like a little notepad. What can I get you?
What is this thing you call rum? What is that?
It's something they bring from the south. It's like wine, but made from sugar.
Oh.
And
That
it's
sounds
very,
lovely.
um,
Sugar. Yes.
okay.
Sweet.
I'm just gonna tell you, it's gonna come in a little glass.
Yes, yes, of course.
Okay.
And perhaps with that an ale. I just want to try the rum. Be very
Okay,
careful.
very good.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Storm
for,
Chaser turns to Theron and says, "Huh, those are yours, eh? Huh. Oh, only 4? I mean, 5 for me, please.
Oh, here we go.
5. All right. And
I will
like
not be denied my fun."
you can see the tavern keeper kind of roll his eyes at the prospect of yet another Goliath in his establishment is probably going to send him over the edge. He might willingly go vacation in the hot spring town from before, even in its current state.
Oh, well, at least he'll be alone.
It'll be quiet.
I just see some time away. Jesus, those Goliaths destroyed my bar. There's zombies everywhere. Are they Goliath zombies? No. Cool, I'll take it. And for you, sir, he looks at Law Piece.
Don't worry, I'll reach over to one of the drinks on the table and hide in my movements the small components of minor illusion and just take a copy of the tankard over to my side. That's okay. I got this. Which obviously is not a drink. I'm just fucking around.
The bartender just completely probably over his day. Fine, whatever. And then he just kind of scuttles off back behind the bar. Theron looks around. Hey, what are you lads doing? Bugger off, none of your business. And suddenly this, as all the Goliaths kind of face you in this like kind of amphitheater style seating of themselves, suddenly they all kind of turn and look away and go back to pretending to drink, pretending not to be exceptionally interested in your conversation. Theron looks around. All right. Now the lads are busy with whatever it is that goes on in their duggins. Tell me, what's going on in the free cities? We've heard some terrible news about things coming this way.
I'll kind of look at Storm Chaser and Lapis, just a little unsure of what all we should perhaps say. There's been a great sickness in the free city. Many people have died. Someone poisoned the grain, the flour from this harvest season. Just came and went, and the great celebration, fresh bread for everyone, and someone with great malice poisoned all of the grain, and many people were sick and died.
Poisoned? They poisoned the city?
Yes. Our friend here.
Storm Chaser nods solemnly.
Our friend Beck, the doctor, saved many lives.
Beck's going to go in and kind of share at least without the details, kind of the process, mostly focused on what he knows as a doctor. Theron's going to kind of listen intently as he adds to Selmay's story. It doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard of, mate. It's terrible business that. We've seen some things out at sea, but nothing like that. Things happen like that on boats all the time, but to see it happen to a city.
Yes. It would seem someone or some organization has issue with the free city, and so they caused this horrible thing to happen. Many people died. Even some of the areas away from the city, people were killed. Did not know that the grain was tainted.
Storm Chaser gently puts a hand on Selma's shoulder, sensing her discomfort with, recounting the story.
Just terrible.
Awful business. He's gonna kind of turn to Storm Chaser. So, brother, how'd you end up with this lot? Kind of a ragtag bunch, aren't you? What are you doing here, and what brings you all together?
He kind of, you see Storm Chaser pondering the colloquialism of ragtag. He decides to let it go, and he says, I was following, well, a friend of mine, a trader, sorry.
It's really
The
defensive.
mutineer.
It's really defensive.
Had asked me to come to the city, and well, I met friends, and Selme and Lapis and Bex, and we keep finding trouble, and it's not good. And he starts to discuss his favorite topic, the fire genasi, who he would like to throw in a cold mountain lake. Those two, they follow. We keep finding depth, and they keep finding us. And we have had words, and the next time there will not be words.
As you tell the story of the Fellowship of the Flame, a Goliath at an adjacent table kind of turns and looks and acts like he's about to say something, and Theron very quickly, no, sit down.
Is what you know these? You know these things? They need to. And he's visibly just. You can see him visibly getting angry. He's just the rage he feels at the two of them just is hard for him to contain.
Look, mate, I'm gonna be honest with you. The men can be superstitious at times, and they jump on the irrational as a means of explaining things. So just because we've seen something doesn't mean that this is the cause. And I worry to not give it too much credence. However, 4 days ago, out a little bit east of here, we came across a ship on fire. And we have not seen many ships in the area. We don't know anything, and by the time we arrived, it was too late. Everybody on board was gone. If anybody was still on board, we watched it go down.
Has the tankards arrived yet?
Yeah, bartender's definitely come back with his kind of drinks, and he's even brought Theron a couple of more just to get out in front of that.
Yeah, the knuckles on Storm Chaser's hand start to go white as he's squeezing the tankard, and you can hear it start to crack, and he realizes what's about to happen, and he throws the drink back really quickly just before the tankard basically collapses inward, crushed in his hand.
You all right? I don't mean to upset you. It's just, I didn't want the lad to be filling your head about what he may not have seen and calling it truth. We don't know.
It is okay, friend Theron. He's okay, and he quickly drinks another one of the tankards in basically one shot.
Looks at Selme, kind of gives her a curt little bow, kind of almost talking at his feet. What about you? How'd you meet this one? We're kind of an unpredictable lot, and
Yes.
we're clumsy, and we break things.
Yes, yes. He means very well. Good heart, a good friend. No, same thing. I was called to the city of Greyhawk by my mentor, only to arrive and find him not there. And we've all been trying to track them down. That's part of why we are here. And she kind of looks, kind of lowers her voice. We caught up with them almost. It is, what was that town? The hot spring, not too far south in the mountains. And she looks at Beck and kind of looks down. We found one of them, but we were too late. We're worried that these whatever this evil is has something to do with the grain, and our mentors, our friends are lost, and we think they've been shipped somewhere in crates by this. And she kind of leans in. This spring. Oh, what is it? And she looks at Lapis. Spring shipping.
Spring shipping.
Yes, that is it.
Forwarding company. Import export.
He kind of goes back in his chair at the mention of the name, and he looks off, and in the corner you notice a Goliath who hasn't stood up, never joined part of the crowd, has just been sitting there staring at you. And for the first time, Theron almost seems to kind of include somebody in his thinking process as he looks over. The figure in the corner nods. He nods. Look, that spring shipping, the lads and I we've come across them a few times, none recently. They are in the business. He looks around, of making people disappear, and not in the way that our friend can do here with illusions, but I mean to make them disappear. They are sometimes criminals, sometimes people with contrary opinions to those who have the ability to seek out spring shipping and use them for their purpose.
You will see the color, what little color there is, because again, Selme is a very, very pallid complected elf, literally. You'll see what little color there is leave her face, and she just kind of looks down and takes a deep breath and swallows. So we must, you understand that we must make haste. We are trying to find. And she'll put her arm on Beck's back. We've lost one friend, and we do not wish to lose others. So that is part of our business here, is to see if we can learn where they've maybe been sent, even if it's too late. We need to find them.
At the mention of Beck's loss, he's going to kind of slink his head. Theron's going to kind of acknowledge and see it, raise one of his tankards. Sorry about your friend, mate. Maybe these lads, little lady, you can do right by them. We will try. We will try to help you in whatever you need. We travel from place to place. We do what is right through our means, through our abilities. And this is some nasty business. And I would like you to know that you have not only my sympathies, but this crew of lads will take you where you need to go. Holds out his little tankard for everybody. To your friend, mate.
Selme will pick up her cup, tears in her eyes, and her eyes burst forth. Finally, emotion has caught up with her, and she slams down the contents of the cup, sets it down, and buries her head.
I'm I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean anything. You know, just wanted to honor your dead friend. I
It's been a stressful couple of days, weeks. Feels like weeks. Feels like months actually, but it's been kind of stressful. It catches up to you.
Storm Chaser turns to Thorn. He says, Do not worry, friend Thorn. We 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 thank you. It is good to know that there are others who are would help. And he raises his current tankard. Knuckles, not so wet anymore. Though he looks at Selme and then Bex with concern because he knows that he's still suffering, and raises the tankard and then drinks it, and then puts his hand on Selme's back, just calming the way she's helped calm him at times.
Is anybody facing like out the picture window? Did anybody kind of come in and, in that kind of unknown situation would like to sit with their back like to the wall and facing the door like mobsters?
Selme is probably back to the room, facing the people she's talking with. She's a very in the moment person. Okay. So that would be a no for her.
Okay.
I got Storm Chaser to Selme's left, I guess.
Okay.
Lapis? I have no idea where Lapis would sit.
Okay.
Lapis at some point is going to cast Minor Illusion as a 6-legged, 2-tailed, 3-eyed cat at another table just to mess with them. So if that puts me somewhere where I can see the table and the outside, then Lapis will be sitting there.
All right, so you cast your Minor Illusion. Do you look, or you just do it casually and don't even like acknowledge that you did it?
I just glance and I will like, oh, yeah. Just to draw attention, like, oh, that's weird. And it will last for like 6 seconds and they will disappear.
So in this kind of odd emotional moment, another table of the crew kind of jumps up and, oh, it's a demon. It's a demon, Captain. And really quick, where'd it go? Oh, sorry, Captain. We thought we saw a demon. And Theron's gonna kind of size up Lapis. Hey, lads, they're way better at you than this joke thing. Just be mindful. This one seems pretty. Just be careful, lads. Some of you aren't the brightest, and I don't want you falling into the water or chasing something up a tree. So stay together and try to think for yourselves for once. And they all kind of like dumbfounded, kind of go back. Like you hear him muttering, "I swear I saw that demon. I saw it. I know it did."
It's like the fantasy equivalent of a laser pointer in a room full of cats.
Oh man, I wasn't expecting that reaction. Which just, well, I should have.
And they go back.
Storm Chaser just sits there staring straight ahead. Slight little wry smile on the corner of his lips as he sips this tankard, just enjoying that particular moment, having a pretty good idea.
I just used to Goliaths holding their drink better. Maybe some chasers set the bar too high.
Selme
will a little wider.
Selme will lift her head after just 20, 30 seconds, trying to collect herself. Kind of wipes her eyes. My apologies, Captain. As Lapis said, it's been overwhelming, and I apologize for becoming so emotional. Thank you for your kindness and friendship. You Goliaths are a majestic people. Thank you. And what is in that cup? Is she kind of still trying to clear her throat? I do not know if my tears are from my heart that breaks or what I just drank in the cup.
That's that fire in your belly, my lady. That's rum. That's what we bring from elsewhere, from foreign shores. It's quite the rage elsewhere. apparently is it's taken off in our little neck of the woods.
It is good, but dangerous. Yes.
Yes. It'll make a fire in your belly even stronger. Trust me. Look at the lads.
Yes.
Like some of them
Yes.
be scared of a demon cat. They just magically appears in a ball, so they're not that smart. But you need them to fight. This'll give it to you. So give you a reason.
Fire in my belly, yes. Very much so.
Hey, Manny, I have a question. Last session, unless I completely misunderstood, which is possible, the person that sold me the fruit said that the fruit that I bought was an odd fruit that came from elsewhere that the spring shipping company brought from the north, from those weird ships.
That a ship who had just left recently, when they came into port before they left, like on their inward trip, they dropped some of this stuff off and then left a couple of days ago. It's the last ship.
Okay. So in that case, I would say maybe we know where they came from. Do you know in your travels where this fruit comes from the north? I'll put one of the 4 fruits on the table.
He looks it up. This is grown to the north of here, and it's about season. So at some point, hold on. I gotta find my map because I spent all day talking about it and don't have it up.
Because their last ship had a surplus and they sold it, so that may be their last port of call in the north. Because the north is pretty, the north. But if you know where they harvest and sell these, maybe that would be a good place to start looking.
He kind of looks at it, shows it to like his kind of, little mental cohort over in the corner. He kind of shrugs. Hey, lads. Suddenly, everybody tentatively turns around. We've seen these fruit, right? Where'd we see them? And a bunch of them start blurting out answers. One claims the Shield Lands. One claims the Gold County. And one of them claims actually Ernst. Damn it, lads. Oh, don't you remember anything? Look, I'm sorry, I gotta, they're like children sometimes. We have been there. Those are our last 3 ports of call, and we have been there, and we've seen these recently because that's how we know they're in season. The lad's not too bright. Sorry, they couldn't be more helpful, perhaps.
That's okay. You can have the fruit if you want it.
Oh yes, all these dried meats and cheeses and loaf of bread. Love some fruit. Like eats the whole thing. Whether that's the proper technique to eat it or not, man just jams the whole thing in his mouth and cheese and swallows it, seeds and all.
For the next minute, Lapis is going to be looking at him and see if for the next minute he gets sick from the fruits before he eats any of the other 3.
Mm-hmm. So he kind of chews the fruit down, realizes that maybe he should have thought about it a little better. Picks like a seed out of his teeth. See him pull like a stem that's like this big actually out.
I think people eat apples the other way around and they eat the whole thing core included. That's pretty resourceful of you. You don't feel sick? You don't feel ill or anything like that? No?
I feel fine. Well, not fine. Takes like a big drink, puts it down. Everybody, give me a perception check, please.
Meanwhile, Storm Chaser is on Tankard 3. I feel fine.
Hey, KY Hawkeye, thanks for those advantages, brother. Good to see you, man.
Yes. Perception.
I have a 21, Manny.
Very nice.
I'm too busy looking at my guinea pig to see anything. I roll a 10.
I don't care what you guys are looking at. I'm making sure this big thing doesn't fall down.
Storm Chaser's 3 tankards of rum, which is the new experience for him, and so his perception at 9 is not very perceptive.
A 9?
Yeah.
You just staring in the cup?
Trying to find the bottom.
What?
I'm almost there.
Where did it go? Oh, there's another one. Okay. Grab the next one.
Selmay's going to notice that some of the other Goliaths seem to have stopped kind of keeping to themselves and are kind of like milling about. And it looks like one is making its way to the window. Hey, is everybody off the ship?
Oh no.
They're like, yeah. Then
What is outside? It looks like they're looking for something outside at the window.
are we sure everybody's here? There's a rowboat leaving the Storm Giant.
Wait, what?
And Theron kind of, well, go check it out. Go see what it is. And like 4 or 5 of them kind of leave the bar and go running out down the dock towards the end of the dock where the boat is moored up. And off in the distance, you kind of see like a rowboat seeming to make its way away from shore and the city. Theron kind of looks. Huh. Bet you it's that collector. I don't even fight him anymore. That man will get what he's gonna get, and no matter how hard I try, I even admire him for a thief. Hey, tell the lads it's probably the collector stealing that stuff. Just, he's gonna get it. Tell him to come back. One of the Goliaths goes outside, and you hear him yell something, muffled through the door as it closes behind him. Theron kind of sits back.
What is a collector?
It's this thing. We know nothing about him or her. Just that they have spent the last few months acquiring all manner of magical items, and not, your bags of holding, your alchemy jars, but things with names, things that could change the tides of a war, or could look very lovely hanging on a noble's wall. He hasn't stolen anything from us, too powerful, but he seems to have a bead on everything that we get and everything that we come across. And just after we get to shore, before we can move it on to other buyers, he takes it.
And no one has caught him. Why do you not try to catch him?
He's quite good. Me and the lads once sat in the boat, hidden in piles of hay for 3 days. And at some point, we all fell asleep. And when we woke up, the treasure we were guarding that was right in front of us was gone.
He's right out there in the rowboat in the water. How hard can that be?
We fight him now. It's probably not even him. We fight him now. We get it back. In 3 days, it's gone. This was almost just to see how long it would take. That's why I didn't leave anybody on the boat with it. I knew he was coming.
This is
He always does.
only here in what is this, Elmshire? It only here this happens with him, or does he follow you?
He's got people everywhere. Our last port, he was there too. We were up in Axport. That's where we came from last, and just we had acquired something from a vessel that was in distress, and you hear a couple of Goliaths chuckle. Well, we're the ones that put it into distress, but story's the same. And when we saved the valuable property, we came across this, and it wasn't very long before I realized he was going to find it. And we took it with us. I slept with it under my bed in the inn in Axport. Next morning, woke up and it was gone.
Ah, goodness.
Storm Chaser looks very at Darren, very confused. He goes, "Thief? This thief? I have to throw him in Mountain Lake with Genasi. They can sleep together in the water."
Like I said, come to admire him. Just seems very committed, and I'll be honest, he's got some good taste. He's stolen some fine pieces. Some broken, some I wouldn't call them powerful, but to somebody with a keen eye, these are impressive pieces. I would love to see his collection one day.
Just wonder what they're using them for. He must be part of a bigger group, yes?
Could just be a collector. That's what he calls himself. Leaves a little card and everything, like a classic burglar. Just thank you for the addition to my collection, Zarshun the Collector.
Didn't we
Most strange.
go to a shop that they gave us a card that also had someone who collected things?
When you bought your
right, the
magic
scrolls.
stuff.
So I have that card. Is the same name? Oh,
Do you want to show it to Zarshun, or I'm sorry, to Theron, or you just doing mental bookkeeping for
I
you?
just connected that name sounds familiar. Collector. Oh shit. No, I buy stuff there. I'm not gonna rat out my seller. I'm gonna keep that quiet
Okay.
for now.
Greyhawk's version of The Wire. I love it. So the lads, the Goliaths come back in, kind of go back to what they were doing. Theron's like, I'll deal with him on another day. So, so what brings you to Elmshire? I imagine you seek passage somewhere. Like I said, the lads and I would be happy to take you. Where might you be going?
I look at Storm Chaser and Lapis kind of nervously. Two things really. We need to find our friends, whatever their state may be. So tracking, I presume that is how the shipping from the spring shipping, they must have been in crates. She kind of collects herself. And also we need to make our way to Lukish, the Duchy of Ernst.
Oh, Ernst. Yeah, we've been there. Odd place that. What business do you have in Ernst?
Just more of the related to the things happening in Greyhawk and so forth. Yes.
Lucas, huh? Gonna go deal with the lords. Hey lads, they're gonna go bow and curtsy to a bunch of lords. They all kind of.
She'll kind of roll her eyes like she agrees, like, right. Kind of confirm.
I'm not a fan either.
Yeah.
Fourth tankard in, Storm Chaser fixes him with a look. Storm Chaser does not bow.
It is true. He does not. She'll stand up and curtsy like she was taught as a younger elf maiden.
Oh, it's quite impressive, Matt. He looks at Storm Chaser.
So Storm Chaser has a smile on his face. He's, whoa, okay, cutscene not so bad, but not for me.
Not typically, no. She'll hop back up on her stool.
Theron's going to stand up on his chair, barely kind of under the ceiling of the tavern, and try his best little curtsy, pulling out the side of his cape. And because he's big and probably has a high center of gravity, kind of shimmies and almost falls. How'd I do, lads? Look like we're ready to go.
I think you will
You
make
look
a
great, Captain.
you will
Oh
make
my
a
lord.
lovely impression on the lords. Yes, I think. Or some sort
Minor
of impression.
illusion. Minor illusion, a card. 6.5.
Ah, the the ethereal judge, not too kind on my performance. Must be quite proficient in the curtsy. You know, gotta
That's
love
why I got
skills,
my
right?
lumbago. I didn't have lumbago, and then I went to a royal court and I curtsy all day, and now I have lumbago.
That one's from the Pomarsh. They're grumpy people.
Well, the lads and I, we're down to travel, wherever you choose. We unfortunately would have to make some stops of our own along the way.
Of course, yes,
in
of course.
Whatever you choose, and should you, you could either hang out in the port town until we're ready to leave, or you need a couple of days to look about. Be sure to take it. We'll be happy to know. Just where would you like to go?
I kind of look at Stormchaser and Lapis. Sort of a clueless look on her face. We are not sure how to proceed at this point. Do we look for our friends? Do we go to Lukish? Do not know.
Stormchaser ponders and says, "His ship is Ernst. Good fortune, maybe."
What did you have on the ship that the collector would have wanted to steal?
A particular. It is the rumored possession of a less than desirable being. We do not know its authenticity, and we do not know if it was a thing. We came across it as we come across things from time to time. And we sought out a diviner who, less than reputable as well, who kind of told us a story. The lads kind of latched onto it like they're wont to do. And we've been holding on to it for quite some time. And perhaps it being stolen now is enough to say that perhaps that wizard was onto something.
You've been kind to us, and I'll take the business card that they gave me at the shop. You might find all the things that you've lost here, and I'll slide the card that the magic shop guy gave me.
What's this?
It's same name, same person. I believe that they collect things and then they clean them and sell them in their shop. They have shops in multiple places. Greyhawk, maybe Ernst.
Huh. This is almost the exact card we get when we get robbed.
Yeah, I got this one in a shop in Greyhawk, and the person said that they have shops in other places. So maybe Greyhawk, maybe Ernst, maybe another big port of call that you can go and ask pointed questions.
Pointed questions. I like that. Point
You
with my
strike me as
finger.
the type of person that asks pointed questions, pointed sword, pointed fingers.
I don't usually. I'm quite large, I just walk in and ask questions, and people are usually inclined to
Pointed
to
personality.
answer them. Pointed size, pointed genetics, perhaps.
But you've been kind to us and you were offering to take us places, and I thought that maybe you should know that that may be a place to find your missing cargo, multiple missing cargos.
I appreciate it. At this point, Beck is going to kind of cast a vote for chasing after your mentors. I spoke with him before the show, since he's not here. That was the one thing a definitive vote from him was going to be to pursue your missing mentors. And he's going to make an impassioned speech like Beck would, arguing that point.
Yes, we're torn. We need to
Theron's going to kind of hear it.
find them.
I'm sorry about your teacher, mate. You know, it's rough business that, and I'm glad that you, even though your friends here don't know the fate of their masters, that despite knowing the fate of yours, you continue to want to help them and to pursue the closure that you may not have wanted, but at least that you have.
Friend Bex healed my friend. He is good man.
Do you think we might find them on our way to Lukish? At any of your stops? Where do these spring shipping? Where do they ship to? We're at a dead end. We do not know.
The last time we encountered them was Radagast City, up to the northeast. We had caught them just leaving port. Knew the black armor, and we know what they do. They had just unloaded some cargo and had already shipped it off when me and the lads came across them. We sunk their ship in the harbor. Probably still see the mast sticking out. Killed everybody aboard. But unfortunately, were unable to find what they had sent.
There was no crates or anything.
No, this was a few months back. But we know who they are, and there are usually very many of them because they can't travel in large groups lest they attract attention. So it's a small group, and when they're around the lads and I, they're even smaller.
Radagast City, is that far away?
It's a good couple of days by sea. Storm Giant, you'd say it's quite large and impressive with some favorable winds. And he gives a slight little chuckle and eye roll, and you hear some chuckling from the gallery as well. I'm sure we can make it in a few days. Fortunately, we've kind of run afoul of some others of late. The shipping company for one, and unfortunately we'll have to take something of a roundabout path to get there so as to avoid any sort of entanglements that may occur from...
Oh, of course, we do not wish to cause you any trouble.
All right, very well. So what do you say, Radagast City? By the way, if you want to hit to Ernst, we won't quite get to Lukish, but Nearstrin is one place we're probably going to have to stop. We got something in the hold that we have to drop off. We could go from there. It'll be Ernst, not the palace. I'm not going to invite you for tea, but it's the place, and then we could kind of make our way from there. See if anybody has seen them. We could stop at any port along the way. The lads are actually disposal, and it's been a while since we've had an adventure. Doing a little bit of acquisitions of late, and it gets a little stale.
I see. I'll look at Stormchaser and Lapis. How does this sound? But we could sort of do both things. Maybe find some news of their passing.
I think that if we do what we're supposed to do in Earth, I'm pretty sure they're going to rope us into doing something else, and we're either going to have to tell them no to their face or just not go. We can try and do half-seas and see if we can tell someone else to go tell them. But if we go, they're going to say, hey, then you go do this for us, and then we're going to be stuck in Earth instead of where we're supposed to be going to go help our mentors. That's what I think.
Stormchaser drinks tankard number 5 and looks thoughtful, which is more of he's just on tankard number 5. And as if it suddenly occurred to him that there are people sitting next to him, he turns to Same and says, I trust you, friend Same. Where you go, I will go.
We are obligated to help the city for, and she kind of almost says tenser but doesn't. But perhaps we could deliver the news and then just to impress upon them that we cannot tarry there too long and be on our way to. We need to find our friends, don't you think?
I agree. I think that we can try that, and if we don't, we do like we do in the embassy, and we just do that, and then we leave. Maybe that might be too extreme, especially when we're trying to make friends. Never mind. It must be the imaginary alcohol talking. Yeah, we can try and.
I'm illusion wasted.
I believe I'm wasted, and therefore I am. Yeah, let's go try and spread the news, and if they can spread it for us, we can just then go on our way and see if we can find them in another port. The longer we take, the harder it will be to find them. So if we don't get tangled up in responsibilities in Ernst, that would be for the best, I believe.
Fair enough. How about this? We'll head to Nearstrom, see what we find, and then from there, should you desire to continue to Lukish, we can. And if you would desire to head north to Radagast City, we could do that as well. But if that's the plan, then we can head in that direction. Yes?
That sounds good.
That sounds like a good plan. Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
Stands up on his chair. Listen up, lads. Barl turns very attentively. We've had enough time in acquisitions. Yeah. How would you boys like to go out and help these fine folks? Kind of quiet the table with the illusionary demon cat, like almost audibly going, "No, screw those guys." Well, lads, looks like we're about to get out of here. This place has gone a little stale. See all those boats stacked up out there in the water, just waiting for us to leave. Let's give them something to do. Let's give you lads something to do before we tear this poor man's bar apart. Let's go find high adventures on the high seas. We're going to Ernst, boys. Like, I don't like Ernst. Like, doesn't matter. We're going to Ernst. Now, get out there and get that ship ready, boys. And they all kind of dutifully stand up and kind of almost for a bar that was, maybe an hour or two ago, amidst of a Goliath-sized Royal Rumble, they get up very orderly and kind of file out with a real sense of purpose and kind of make their way. And anybody looking out the picture window sees them orderly walking up the gangway and onto the boat and dutifully beginning to kind of set the ship prepared for sail. All right, well, it looks like we've got a direction, and the lads will be getting the ship ready. Probably be a few hours. I've got some things to attend to as well. If you want to finish up any business you may have here, I'll leave you to it, and we leave at 4 bells.
Yes, of course. Do you have... She holds up her cup. Do you keep any of this on your ship that I might purchase from you?
It's
very tasty.
As he gets up, he pulls from a little side pouch on his belt, like a pretty impressive bag of what you can imagine is coin. Sits it very firmly down on the bar. Hey, mate, I'm going to need some of that rum back. I'm afraid the lady's taking a shine to it, and I don't know that I have enough for her and the lads.
I will purchase it. I can purchase mine, yes?
Let's just say we're in the distribution business of this fine product, and when I need to reallocate it for different customers, I shall do so at my discretion. And he kind of reaches behind the bar very easily with his long arms and impressive physique, grabs them, and kind of walks out with an armful of them. Thanks, lad. I'll bring some more back when we come back. And kind of shuffles out of the bar with an armful of rum for Selma, apparently.
Yes. She's just a little overwhelmed. Thank you. How much time before the fourth bell? She asks Lapis and Stormchaser.
Looks like we're 2 bells short of 4 bells.
This is my life. 2 bells short of 4 bells. Yes.
It feels like the kind of day.
Stormchaser looks back and says, I do not hear bells. What?
Yeah, it's on the six tanker you start hearing bells. 1 second short.
But I only have 5 and they're empty. He's seems slightly upset about that.
As we're leaving, I'll approach the barkeep and say, I can't really do much for you, but I can make you invisible for an hour if you're going to go hide and cry.
Now that they're gone, this place will be empty. The whole town, seeing them get ready, is going to send the dock workers out, getting ready for ships to come in. I'm going to have some privacy, and he's going to also grab the large kind of purse when scaled down to a human, and kind of go, I'm going to go cry in this big pile of gold now, if you'll excuse me.
We all process things differently.
If you'd like to stay, by all means, please do. The bar will be unoccupied until another ship makes its way in. It is yours. I have to go hide this money somewhere lest I get robbed.
Okay, well, I offered. Have fun. Good luck. Have a good cry.
He kind of takes his big heavy purse through the back room, and you hear like a door close out the back. So all 3 of you, or 4 of you, are in the now empty tavern. Seats completely like on their sides, tables like missing huge sections, some of them completely wet, probably from ale being spilt. Everything kind of with a heavy sag from large people being in regular sized furniture, and it's quiet except for the kind of commotion you hear from the ship out on the dock, and through the picture window you can see people kind of returning out of their homes, and for the first time the town kind of seems like alive and active, with quite a bit of people standing on the dock, or at least in proximity to the dock.
Is there anything else we need to do before we go aboard? Anything you need for the trip? Is it cold in the north?
I wish to purchase a flask, I think. Yes.
Has anybody been in the north? Is it cold?
I have not.
It's cold. Well, it's cold for you. I mean, for me.
I think I'll go buy a cardigan.
Leather
patches.
A cardigan.
I may need to put on shirt. What?
I'll buy you a tank top. It'll be good. You can get the guns out. Be a gun show. Okay, I'll go buy some clothes.
What's his gun?
Towards the Elmshire.
Show the crossbows. Since there's no guns. Balistas? Arbalest? I don't know.
Elmshire Beach t-shirts at the local kitsch store. So yeah, you guys gonna leave the tavern? You gonna kind of hang out, wait?
I need to go buy some memorabilia.
Yeah, I just think Selma wants to go pick up a flask.
Okay.
For her new phone.
Stormchaser? Yeah,
Stormchaser is going to follow, because otherwise he will never find his way to board. And he still hears no bells, so he's going to follow Selma.
Okay.
Maybe bells ring. I do not know.
Okay. As you make your way out of the wharf rat, some of the other storefronts seem to be coming alive. That there seem to be kind of wiping off of windows, lighting of gas lamps outside the front doors, in seeming preparation for the huge influx of ships that are about to come in as soon as the storm giant departs. One of them, a couple of doors over, seems to be a general goods store. The owner, a little dwarf man, seems to just be kind of putting things out and arranging them in anticipation of what could be a little business boom from the influx of ships.
Not understanding the concept of tempting fate, Stormchaser leans over and whispers to Sully, "Hey, still know dead people."
Yes, so
laughs,
far,
thinking it funny.
so far so good. Being here, yes, everywhere we've gone, it seems. Perhaps our luck is changing.
Mm.
Well, let us go. Perhaps this place right here. I need to purchase something.
The dwarf kind of seems shocked as he turns around and sees 4 non-Goliaths with only one ship in the dock. Out of towners, I take it. Welcome to Elmshire Trade Goods. I didn't expect people not. Let me be honest. I didn't expect you to not be Goliaths. They're the only ones in town.
Well, apparently not. I'm Selmy. This is nice to meet you. Do you sell a nice flask?
Do I? I'm a dwarf, my lady. Like, look at. And he kind of opens up his little kind of overcoat. It's like a long vest. And then he pulls one out and he's like, "This one's for the morning." Goes on the other side. "This one's for the afternoon. I'll drink. And this one will be for this evening." And he looks up. Looks kind of dark. Good enough.
Well.
I've got these and more. These are my personals. We carry them all. The creatures that like to sail like to drink, and they go hand in hand.
Yes, of course. Very well. Something in silver. Yes. Let me see what you have, please.
Very sure.
You worried about haunted spirits? Get it, spirits.
No.
Yeah, no. My apologies. Yes, I've got these right here. This one's a little silver. It's got some, looks like kind of tree carvings in it. Don't know if that's...
That would be perfect. How much would it hold?
Looks at you, looks at it, he's like, looks at himself. I have about 3 of these a day. So I would scale appropriately.
Yes, I wish to carry what is it? Rum in it. It's very tasty, but only a little bit at a time.
So you've met Theron and his boys, huh?
She smiles. Yes, of course.
It's good stuff. I don't like how they keep all of the other kind of businesses closed while they take up our docks. But when they bring that rum and when they're gone, it's where most of my money goes. When all these other ships come in today, it's going to be going to next door to the wharf rat to buy whatever rum they didn't take with them.
Well, yes, I think I will take this flask right here. I like trees and things. The forest, yes. That reminds me of home.
All right, I'll tell you what. Do it for 15 silver pieces. Kind of holds one up and looks at it against the flask and basically appreciates that that's exactly how many pieces of silver it would take to make a new one if you wanted to.
Yes, of course. She'll dig into a pouch and pull out 15 silver and hand it to him.
Oh, thank you. Hey, he looks at Stormchaser. You're not one of them, are you? A little too pale, a little too something. But you're not one of them, are you?
Not what? Goliath? I think I'm Goliath. Don't tell me. I am Goliath. Yes. He's very, very confused and just, yeah.
Yeah, he's
5 tankards and has not built up a tolerance yet. It is not fermented goat's milk. This is taking some getting used to.
He's a dwarf, so he's really gotta stretch his neck. Yeah, I know you're Goliath. Like, look at me, my neck hurts. What are you doing here? Can I get you anything? You'd be amazed at what kind of Goliath-sized equipment I have with the boys coming to town every now and again.
Yeah, he thinks about that and he turns and says, Fransame, do I need anything?
We are. It sounds like we are going to stop at many places along the way. I think the only other thing I might get is something to pull over to keep me warm if we go very far north. But I don't think anything else really. I don't know.
He says, you have bigger flask, something for the good life.
Kind of. Yes. And he kind of shuffles around and finds what is essentially like a small barrel with like a belt clip. Looks like the kind of thing a Saint Bernard would carry. If a Saint Bernard was probably, I don't know, the size of like a horse, like a horse. So it's pretty impressive. It's really large in his hands, and the belt clip that comes with it. But as he kind of holds it up, like I said, with his neck cricked back and kind of holds it like where it would go, it seems very fitting for a Goliath to basically have like a small beer keg on their belt.
Okay. Yeah. Ugh, nice. I wish to purchase.
It's like sometimes the lads have to sell me stuff so they can buy new stuff. This was one of theirs, so I'd be careful. He might want it back.
Then we have words.
And he was like, just this town just seems completely over an entire presence of Goliaths, because all they just think about is like the sheer physical damage that they can do. And you can just watch him do math in his head of the thought of Goliaths fighting over this on a boat at sea. Just don't do it here, okay? Like they barely came in this time. Most of my stuff is still intact. So in fact, here, take it. I don't want it for when he comes back for it. Then I'll just tell him if he wants it, he's got to come through you to get it. How about that?
Oh, son dwarf, I like you. And he claps the dwarf on the back. You know that whole thing about him, being considered of his strength around smaller people? 5 tankards in. 5 tankards in. He's a little lax on that concern.
So you're going to hit him. He's going to take like a big lurching step forward. Pretty impressive. You push like my sister, but still impressive nonetheless. Kind of goes back. Gives you your tankard. Is happy to be like kind of rid of it. It's pretty heavy. On the side of it is carved what looks like a sea monster with tentacles, like coming up and attacking a ship. And at the wheel of the ship, you see like a figure with a hammer, hair, and cape, like blowing in the wind. It's a pretty impressive tableau because, like I said, your barrel's pretty large.
Nice. Isn't that a Scotch?
All right. Cutty Sark, maybe? That's the only one I could think of.
Release the
I don't know. And I think it's just like an octopus or something. Oh, there's Kraken rum. I actually have some in my
Maybe that's
freezer.
what it is, yeah.
That stuff's good. I might go get some in the break. Looks at La Piece. I don't know. Kind of looking up and down. You seem like you would have more of a desire for the exotic, if you will.
I want a cozy cardigan with pockets, a pipe, and a sleeveless shirt that says "Off with their heads."
It's like, all right, hold on. He's like, I got a bunch of t-shirts.
The t-shirts are for him, so make it big. I point at Storm Chaser.
Oh, that's hilarious. Very specific request.
Yeah. He kind of goes to the rack and looks for like t-shirts.
I mean, it's a beach town. They probably have some novelty items.
One of them says, I went to Hot Springs and all I got was this stupid t-shirt.
I am having flashbacks of my childhood on the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
One of them's a t-shirt that says the beer city of Greyhawk.
Yeah.
Puts that back. Kind of gets another one. Tensor says relax. Puts that back.
No. We must burn that one.
Yeah, we know better than that.
I don't have anything specific for the advocation of beheaded.
No.
I don't know what you do at non-beach towns, so we kind of keep a.
It's a very specific callback, and I wasn't sure that you were gonna have it, but hey, we're here. Might as well ask. We have a lot of things. Do you have a cardigan with pockets and elbow patches? Elbow patches are important. So are the pockets. The cardigan, it's all important.
He kind of looks around. I don't know. I don't think so. He's like, I do have this though, and he pulls out this kind of fabulous like coat, blue and white, blue coat with like white trip accents, kind of a high collar, kind of a split tail, about calf length. It's a waistcoat with tails. I don't know. This kind of fits you, and he holds it up like kind of next to you, and kind of holds it up, and so he can see you in it. Like, still, it looks like something you'd wear.
That's like wearing white to someone else's wedding, like wearing an admiral suit to someone else's ship. Feels weird.
Well,
We have a pipe.
Yes, we do. For some of the things that come in from exotic lands, we need to be prepared. So yes, we do.
Do you have one that will make me look majestic at the prow of the ship as I smoke it?
Yes, majestic. He's like, allow me to show you the captain's collection.
Oh, fancy.
He goes into a case and pulls out one. They're all made of very fine woods. One of them appears to be made of like a whalebone. And then
I'll elbow sell me. That's what they say when they're going to overprice you. Let's see how much. How much are they?
It's like the whalebone one will be 25 gold. This
I was right.
wood one here be about 15. And then I have this glass one that supposedly changes colors as you use it. This one will be 5.
I think I think we should go down to like the lieutenant connection, quartermaster collection.
Very well. He kind of closes the lid and kind of puts it back under the case and pulls out like a burlap sack and dumps it on the counter. They're kind of chipped. One of them looks like it's made of driftwood.
Perfect.
One of them.
The driftwood one. I'm sorry, you can keep describing it, but I'm buying the drift.
It has multiple holes in it. You're not sure where you're actually going to smoke out of it. It is a knotty piece of wood, and it literally looks like
and a pipe.
It literally looks like it washed up on shore.
I wasn't planning on putting tobacco in it. I'm just gonna hold it, so it works perfectly for what Lapis is for.
It's like, plus you could probably be a captain for a little bit.
I'm just like gonna cast minor illusion and just make a boat come out and a whale and I don't know, cat.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a Gandalf for like 5 minutes and then stop and forget I have it. So the driftwood one is perfect.
Okay. As you kind of get lost in your own head, he's just gonna kind of stare at you like expectantly. Like, is there anything else I can get you, or are you just gonna kind of stand here in my store?
Well, I was planning on just standing here, but fine, I'll just buy it. How much is it?
3 gold pieces, please.
Shit. Okay.
Takes it.
I'm not going to. Yeah.
So you're going with those guys, huh? They
Yeah, they seem like a good bunch. They get scared of cats easily, though.
they're a good superstitious bunch. They look out for each other, and I know we disagree. Most of their malice comes from being unaware of how large they are in the world in which the rest of us live. But they're a good bunch of guys, and if they are saying that they will protect you, you will absolutely be safe from whatever may come your way. And I wish you a pleasant voyage.
Thank you so much. What's your name, shop owner, sir?
I'm Barton.
Hey, Bert. It was a pleasure doing business with you.
Yeah. I own this place. The boys and I, we have a quite arrangement worked out. They find the stuff that they acquire, and we sell it to other traders. We don't get a lot of traffic in here from the mainland, just coming through those mountains in that creepy spring town. A lot of people.
Oh yeah,
on
the
that
Springtown is gone, by the way. You can spread it around if you want. I'll leave that gossip to you. They're all dead. Thank you for the pipe. It's a pleasure doing business with you. I'll walk out.
As you walk out, you see for the first time a ship, another one, making its way into port, seemingly in disregard of kind of the informal protocol that seems to have been established in Elmshire by the Storm Giant. And if a boat can move in like a confident fashion, this boat looks like it's making its way on the red carpet. It is big. It is elaborately appointed. It is a gray. It is painted gray with gold accents. And on it, it will be bearing this specific flag with a symbol. Scott, if I go and get that up on the chat, please.
Roger that.
And in it, you will see just the only flag mounted on the mast, and a hive of activity as it comes up and kind of slides into a spot just immediately across the dock from the Storm Giants. And you see the lads kind of taken aback by this, almost an affront to their standing and their presence for who they are and the kind of arrangements that they've made. And as the boat pulls in, you see them go from curious to kind of agitated. Even Theron, standing at the helm, kind of is making kind of stern decisions and hand gestures in the direction of this new ship. As it pulls into port, you could see the boat is titled Personal Freedom. And on it, a large group of armored, maybe soldiers, maybe mercenaries, fully armed, kind of pulling into port, seeming in military formation on the deck, with a gentleman with silver hair barking orders to them. And as the boat kind of comes to a stop, a couple will hop off and begin to tie it up, seeming to begin to kind of point fingers and speak aggressively to the crew of the Storm Giants.
What was the name of that ship again?
Personal Freedom.
Thank you.
And as they the mood kind of gets tense and seems to escalate between these two rival crews of ships, we're going to take our break right there on this note. little bit of tension, new people. Also hitting the title of the episode,
A second ship.
a second
Yes,
ship.
yes. Nice.
Aha.
How long of a break would you like to take, sir?
Let's try to take somewhere between 5 and 10. I got to run the dog out really.
Yeah, let's
quick
just
to
take 10 minutes.
Metagame it. Okay.
Yeah, let's take 10
yes.
minutes. Quick thank you to Phantom NJ and Fellowship of the Tables for the gifted subs, which led us to a hype train. Welcome Sky Ress as a new follower. And thanks to everybody for all of the cool long bottom leaves and advantages and stuff. Manny, I think you've scored 2 DM advantages today.
Nice.
One from Hay Wilson and one from Vivi.
Awesome.
All
Thanks,
right.
you guys. All right, so it is 2:43. We're going to go ahead and take a 10-minute break, and then we'll come back and we will meet this eponymous second ship.
All right. Awesome. See you shortly.
Stay with us.
10 minutes. Don't go away.
All right. All right. We are back. Thanks for sticking with us through the break. To everybody who came out to join us today, thank you so much for watching. I don't get to interact a lot in chat because I'm kind of caught up in what I'm doing. But so thank you while we have this kind of break away from the game for everybody who came out today. It means a lot to us. So the party now kind of outside of the general store, trade goods shop, watching the crew of Storm Giant, their newfound Goliath traveling companions, preparing their ship for departure with the party as their cargo, as it were. And in defiance of what you've kind of seen established and been told about the way things operate in and around this town when the Storm Giant is in port, this boat kind of confidently and arrogantly, whether knowingly or not, seems to have defied that kind of social construct. And it appears to be pulling up, right up, some very finely armored men, mostly humans, kind of hop out and begin attending to tying the boat up and kind of get into it a little bit with the crew of the Storm Giants, and a kind of verbal escalation breaks out. What do you guys want to do?
Are we able to tell what it is they're arguing about, or are we just too far away? We're just getting visuals?
It seems very kind of like, territorial, like that kind of, aggression that you would see groups of people like at a bar or at a sporting event. Nothing probably deep-seated or legitimate even, but just kind of primal and, a lot of bucking of the chests. And the armored group seems to be a little less concerned with the fact that the crew of the Storm Giant is a crew of Goliaths. Like they're big, and they are seemingly given just as good as they're getting.
Perhaps we should get over there.
Yeah, Storm Chaser's looking with kind of interest, and he seems to be looking around and still listening for bells. But Selma is saying we should get over there. He okay, just from Selma. Let us go. Come, Lapis.
Yeah, I think we'll
We're gonna piece of the action.
head over there kind of quickly to see what's amiss.
All right. As you get closer, it has boiled down to the Storm Giant crew being very unhappy that they seem to have violated this kind of social construct as it has existed. And you can see Theron staring down from the deck of the boat, not interfering, not trying to calm his men either. And across the way on the other ship, almost like a mirrored figure, very well dressed, very polished armor, hammer and shield in hand, not in a threatening manner, and a large kind of green and brown cape fluttering in the wind behind him. And on kind of the center of the breastplate is going to be the image that is in the window on stream, and also on the flag of the ship as well. And in the same way as Theron doesn't seem to be kind of de-escalating the situation, but also doesn't seem to be kind of encouraging it either as it kind of continues.
Okay. Do you recognize the symbol?
You have seen it before. Roll me a recent history check.
There's a recent history check? Hey, I actually, Storm Chaser seems to apparently know something about recent history. Short-term memory. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was like, I know it seemed like a while, but it was probably 3-4 days ago.
Okay, so
when
yeah,
you
even with the -1 on the thing, he's still got a 17 total.
Okay. You recognize it as the clasp of the cape from Mason, the wizard or sorcerer, I'm sorry, that you met that was currently occupying St. Cuthbert's Cathedral in the square of the city of Greyhawk.
Yeah. On Sunday, Glenn Mason's people?
Oh, that does look familiar. Yes, 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 indeed. Who did he say that group was? That he was a club or whatever that was?
Your 17 is also going to make you recall that they they're the Order of Tripharion, a kind of odd religious order that believes in like self-sufficiency and personal freedom.
Order of try again,
Tritherion.
Tripharion. Yes, Tripharion.
Well, that would explain the rather uninformed, brash entrance to the port, don't you think? Perhaps we might go explain this to Theron so that he does not have to like it, of course, but might help the crew understand. I don't think the Tritherion people care much for these others. They do their own thing. Mind their own business, go where they please. The world is theirs for the enjoying.
All right, you guys gonna go aboard and kind of at least try to get Theron to kind of at least understand what's going on?
Yeah, I think we will go ahead and board the Storm Giant, if we may.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we can board the free action. I don't know what the name was. Freedom of choice, and take the ship over and have our own ship. That seems like the right thing to do here. We're playing D&D. Fight for the big and chew.
Asset acquisition, huh? You guys got a bar and now a ship. Stronghold next, who knows? So Theron seems like focused on this group, and every once in a while he kind of whispers to his odd kind of silent partner from the corner of the tavern, kind of leans over, whispers something, he nods and kind of goes about executing whatever it is that Theron just told him. I appreciate you telling me the story, lads. I and we know full well who they are. They like to pretend that they are liberators and agents of good. They are agents of themselves and nothing more. And to say otherwise or to believe otherwise, you'd have to be dumber than some of these lads here. They know who they are and they do as they please. And the kind of argument continues a little bit down on the docks now. You can see from a much more elevated position as the Storm Giant is quite a large ship. It's scaled up for Goliath proportions. The gangway was real steep going up. Oh, don't worry about it, lads. We know who they are. There's nothing we can say. Okay. And
very well. It just looked like it was getting a little. I just didn't want to see any trouble.
We understand. The lads. It's been a little while since the lads got to enjoy some fisticuffs, if you will. So they've got a lot to burn off. Perhaps it's good for them. We're about to be out to sea. We don't want them channeling that towards ourselves. And he just kind of sits there and kind of watches, and from across the docks on the other boat, you see the person who seems to be in charge kind of look down. Well, gentlemen, they will never appreciate what it means to be truly free as we are. And their aggression is nothing more than, shall we say, jealousy for our freedoms that we enjoy and that we bring to others. So forgive them, they know not what they do. And as he stops, his men very quickly and obediently kind of snap to attention. The man who spoke kind of taps the gentleman next to him, kind of takes a deep breath and clears his throat. All hail and make way for Lord Brecken Lorinar, commander of the Northern Armies, captain of the sailing vessel Personal Freedom, Justicar of Tripharion, heir to the Duchy of Ernst, and regent of the free city of Greyhawk. All make way and all hail. A cheer goes up from his crew. Thank you. Thank you. That never gets tired hearing that. Well, Theron, we meet again. As you can tell on your circumstances of just believing that this entire port is yours, that your selfishness will not get you much further in this world. I have spared you the trouble of dealing with us in the hopes that you would learn your lesson. Now, I regret to inform you, I am now regent of this land. Therefore, your activities are subject to my law. Should you sail out of here and cause no more disturbances, I will not consider you a fugitive, and I shall allow you to live in peace so that a new era of diplomacy in Greyhawk can survive. Should you fight, you and your friends, unaware of who you truly are, shall all suffer and die. Think hard, friends of Theron. This large size, this jovial nature, this pirate is not what he appears. You still have time before he dumps you off the side before Mageport, just to keep up this ruse with these port cities who buy their trifling stories of heroism at high seas and defying the expectations of their kind. Do not be fooled.
Stormchaser mumbles under his breath. This big name for small man. This bigger wind too. Whoosh.
We need to speak with him right away. Actually, did you hear one of his titles?
I did.
Yes. This is who we need to find, and here he is. Pompous and ass or not. We need to speak with him at once. Theron, may we delay departure for an hour or two?
Probably won't take that long. This conversation doesn't seem like it's going to go
Kind of
far.
take stock of the preparations of the crew. I We've got some time. I he's trouble, and I do not believe his lies.
He is right though. He's going to be in charge of Greyhawk and stuff. We talked to the person in charge, and he said he was going to put an asshole in charge, and that looks like an asshole. So I'm assuming that he's going to be the person that's going to be in charge of Greyhawk. So yeah, you're gonna have to figure out what you're going to do with that.
Yes, I'm afraid you will be dealing with him in that regard, but if we are able to be on our way quietly, should not be problem, but we need to speak with him, some urgent business.
He looks to what you by now probably gathered is his first mate. He nods. You have my leave, and to a certain extent, my protection. I will not go to war for you, but I will make sure you stay safe.
We will not cause any harm. Our business with him is not related with you at all, but just... yes, we need to speak with him, and then we will be aboard and looking forward to our travels together.
And kind of nods and makes a motion with towards the gangway back down to the dock. At this point, the ship, the other ship, the men have begun to kind of file off, and in a almost like a rigid military formation, and the gentleman who's been announced as all those titles, Bekrin, just kind of stands there like an overseer, very attentive to every move that his men make, and you can kind of see glances from them looking up at the boat every now and again to check to see what he's looking at and what might be next.
As we're stepping out of the ship, I'll go by Therm and tap him on whatever part I can reach to get him to come down. If there was a fight, I would have thrown that on your side, just so we're clear. We drank together. Those guys are assholes. So if you're gonna fight, just let us know. Be there.
Appreciate that. And kind of makes his way. And as you make your way down the gangway onto, we'll just say the dock for right now, not up the gangway to the other ship. I see you all wise, and that you have made the proper decision to no longer continue this foolhardy voyage with these pirates and these frauds.
Stonechaser's countenance is growing a little grim. He's not amused, to say the least. There might be a little chill in the air, a little bit.
Yes. So we're at the gangplank to the other ship?
Yeah, on the dock. I won't say you've started to make your way up to the other ship just yet.
Yes, Master Soldier, yes. My name is Selme, and we have a great urgent need to speak with Lord Brecken regarding his titles and his business here. And I'll pull out the emblem that was given us by Tensor to show as emissaries of the free city of Greyhawk. I'll show it to him.
He's going to look down. Why, I was not expecting an official welcome from the past administration, but I am glad to see that he was true to his invitation, as the people would be very inclined to be helpful. So I thank you for the welcome. And if you are in the middle of perhaps, hold on, brain fart, lecturing these giants about their ill decisions, then I apologize for my brusque nature and introduction. I just love and require order in all things. And I am glad to see you helping me in achieving this for the new and future city of Greyhawk.
Selma
Stormchaser.
will step on Stormchaser's foot as hard as she can, very slyly. Yes, of course, we are here to be most helpful to his Lord Justicar of Tripharion, Duchy of Ernst, Regent of Greyhawk, and anything we can do to help with our friends, our large friends. And she'll kind of grind her heel on the top of Stormchaser's foot a little bit. We are happy to do, because we know that his lordship will have much challenges ahead. It will be a difficult time, but clearly he's brought with him a fine array of order keepers. Yes.
The Stormchaser finds himself surprised at the strength that which Some brings to her foot and grinds it on his, and he says, "Yes, very, very happy, very happy."
And then she'll slide right next to Stormchaser and just put her arm around him and kind of pat, or arm across his back. It probably doesn't go around him, and just kind of pat him very lightly to let him know she's not mad. She's just trying to make it all happen.
Greasing the wheels. He seems, kind of impressed. Why, very well. I'm glad to see that Tensa has sent his finest representatives to greet me and escort me to the city so that we may bring upon a new era, one not blotted by plague and anarchy of the city.
Yes, about that. Is there somewhere we may speak freely, quietly, just so that we may catch one another up on any news before you depart southward?
Very well. We shall retire to my cabin as my men make our final arrangements for departure to the free city. And
she'll look at Lapis and Stormchaser like clearly out of her element here, but trying.
If you're looking for a Stormchaser for help on this one, we are all in trouble.
Social cues, we don't got them. He's going to bark out kind of a final set of commands to his men. Prepare for departure upon my return, and prepare to bring freedom to this once great but recently fallen city. And in a dramatic turn, Kate flutters behind him, and he makes his way. I always think of Darth Vader when he turns.
Kind of cape swipes across me and almost knocks me over. And he kind of makes his way towards what looks like what would be the captain's cabin of a ship, and walks right in, doesn't turn to see if anybody's behind him, doesn't hold the door, and just lets it close. I'll follow. Okay, here we go.
All right. Is everybody going?
Oh, where Selma goes.
Yeah.
Stormchaser goes.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take like 6 seconds to cast message to Therum at the other ship, 120 feet trolley, just to say, "Oh my god, what a wanker," and just keep walking and follow Selma.
As you cross the deck of the Personal Freedom, you'll hear the lads on the boat kind of have like a really hearty chuckle out of nowhere, and Theron. Good luck, lads. Hopefully it won't talk your ear off. And you see them kind of going back to making their preparations for their ship. Give me an order through the door.
I think Selma will walk behind him, open the door, and slip in.
Okay.
Stormchaser go between Selma and Lapis.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go last with Beck, unless Beck stayed at the Storm Giant.
He's still in the bar, kind of processing just the loss of his teacher. He wanted a moment kind of to his own, and with everybody, including the barkeep being out, he's going to reflect on that. All right, so Selma is going to come through the door first, opening it. It's kind of heavy. It's very ornate, well decorated, yet also seemingly functional. It's not just carved wood into elaborate patterns. There appear to be like metal covered holes that look like an arrow would fit out of. Everything, all the buckles, all the fixtures, everything of the door seem very well made of sturdy metal. The door, as a result, is quite heavy as Selma opens it. And inside, you're going to see this lavishly appointed captain's quarters. There's a large table. Our boy's going to be sitting at the end of it, eating and enjoying this giant plate of what appears to be fresh fruit, seemingly not particularly caring about being hospitable. His feet are up on the table. He's kind of turned sideways, barely acknowledges anybody as they enter. Storm Chaser's going to have a little trouble getting through the door. It is not scaled for somebody of his size. Same thing with the part of the cabin. You're probably going to be a little hunched over, struggling to kind of make it under the ceiling. And then Lapis is going to have a little bit of a hard time with the door because of its weight. You're kind of bold.
Small man, small boobs, of course.
As everybody makes his way in, he kind of just sits there and eats his fruit. Why? I had no idea Tensa was so serious in his desire to be rid of the title of regent. I imagine if you have these medallions, then you are pretty up to par on what is going on, including the deaths of the true lords of the Free City, as well as many, many others. And at this time of need, I felt my skills were best used serving the greater good of the city of Greyhawk at Tensa's behest.
Yes, of course, yes. We discovered the grisly scene where the murders and death took place and brought news back to Greyhawk right away, and so everything is set in motion. And so welcome on behalf of the Free City, and thank you for your wisdom choosing to come be of service. She's clearly awkward, trying her best to.
Did you see my father? Was he amongst the dead?
Did we see his father?
Yeah.
Yes, we did. I am most sorry that this has happened.
Storm Chaser is sorrier than he'll ever know.
My father was a great man and ruled our nation for many years, and with diligence and care for his people. His problem came from his reliance on others. And I've told him that for my entire life as I went out and fought for my nation, that his dependence on foreigners was going to be his undoing. And now he lies dead in a foreign land, murdered, while trying to help.
So it seems your vision was correct, and I am so sorry.
It's fine. I had made my peace with what I believe to be my father's fate for many years while I fought these wars in his name, in the name of our family and our nation. I've been waiting for the day, simply unaware of when it would occur, not how it would occur.
Yes, of course. So it seems then that we were tasked by the mage to go to Ernst to bring these dark tidings. And she'll kind of look at Lapis and Storm Chaser. So it seems, and to find you, where we had nowhere to no way even to look, and here you are. So our purpose for the city, for Tenter, is fulfilled then. I assume that everyone in Ernst is aware of the passing of your father. and you've come to take power.
I have made my mother aware that she need not notify me. I have also made her aware that her continued besmirchment of my name in my absence has not gone unnoticed. And as a result, I will not be returning to Ernst to rule while she undermines me. I have instead chosen this assignment as regent of the free city so that I may do a greater good for people much more in need than my homeland.
Goodness, this all sounds terrible. I'm sorry to hear of your family and all of. At any rate, we were tasked to make everyone aware of what has happened and to somehow find you. And she kind of bows. So she looks at Lapis and Stormchaser. So I think that our mission accomplished. We did nothing, but happened to be in the right place at the right time. But we're happy to see that there will be order restored to the city.
You are not here to escort me?
Tensa asked us to find you and notify you. And surely, and she kind of looks around in this grand gesture, looking at all of your magnificent men and the weapons, and you need no escort from us. We are messengers.
Why would Tensa have called me to the city knowing I would be regent and asked you to find me and take me home?
I think he was just giving us busy work. We were kind of underfoot. Just get us out of the city.
Yes, he just asked us to try to locate you and make you aware of everything that happened. He did not mention anything of official escorting. We have pressing business to the north somewhere. We're not even sure, but so we will not be, she kind of clearly stressing out here.
Stormchaser.
Just a moment. She pulls the flask out.
Stormchaser, seeing her struggling, says, this ship, personal freedom, right?
It is our mantra. It is what we truly believe this world needs to exist in its peak form that it has yet to achieve.
Well, personal freedom. We want our personal freedom to go find our mentors, and yes, so you can exercise your personal freedom and go to the city and rule, and we wish you luck.
Yes, and she puts her flask away. Luck. That is good.
Is this pressing business your arrangement with Theron and his band of thieves and murderers?
In order to look for order, we're going to have to get a little bit disorderly, and they seem like the best ship for that to get us where we need to go.
Our free city may end up needing another regent really soon.
My God, man. Shit.
Well, so that I am truly living up to the values of which I espouse and hope to bring to this land, I will grant you leave to continue about your personal affairs and shall report to Tensa that which he tasked you with doing has been achieved. Consider me made aware of the death of my father, the potential disruption of the relationship with my homeland and this free city, and consider this my notification shall you see my mother. I will not be returning home to her at any time as long as she lives. I will not return the true heir of my family's line to be murdered by an outsider.
Thank you so much for your time. We wish not to take any further from your lordship, and I'm sure that so many preparations to make to do what you need to do. Thank you so much, and we will, if you please and thank you.
Very well. I wish you the best of luck on your journey, and I hope for your sake that Theron, in a rare act of generosity, does exactly as he promises that he will. You wouldn't want to find yourself stranded in a foreign town after he abandons you there to bandits.
Yes,
Now,
that would be most unfortunate. Yes, my
he
lord.
kind of
She'll
flicks
turn
you
and
away.
walk out of there as fast as she can, pushing past Storm Chaser and Lapis if necessary.
Yes, I also wish you not to be murdered in your sleep, Lord of Greyhawk. What an
Yes.
asshole.
Yeah, yes. When you're murdered, I hope you are facing your opponent. And with that, Storm Chaser follows them out the door.
I deal with the threat of murder every day. I'm the heir to a nation and the scion of an order. I laugh at death. It's coming for me. But not
I'll-
before I make this land better.
As we're
Storm
leaving
Chaser's
under his breath so that nobody can hear, and then Lapis, have you considered this probably your personality? And close the door on the way out.
Storm Chaser is about 3 seconds away from pulling an Arya Stark and start mumbling names of people who need to be relieved of their heads.
Tensor, the Genasi, now.
This douche. Ugh.
This guy.
He's got a
This
long
guy.
honeydew list.
I was gonna say, I mostly I'm just enjoying watching you guys juggle like your emotional hatred of which NPC makes the top list today.
Oh, this guy just went
I got
above Tensor right now.
Tensor's way down on the list right now. I've got other priorities.
Tensor's just depressed with life. This guy's just a dick. So fuck this guy.
But by the time we get to the big bad evil person, it's going to be like, he's not so bad. I mean,
Yeah. Have you met Lord Brecken?
So as you make your way out of the captain's cabin, the activity on the Storm Giant continues. The sails almost appear to be ready. Everything kind of seems set. And the Tripharion men don't appear to have moved a single muscle. They seem to have been frozen, not magically. These alliteration, these elaborate things in D&D just get complicated. Are they frozen? No, it's just paint a picture here. Like in place, exceptionally rigid and disciplined and militaristic. And as you kind of make your way across the deck and back down the gangway, straight back onto the Storm Giant.
Yep.
And back onto the Storm Giant. As you make your way down the gangway from the personal freedom, Braxton kind of comes out of his cabin, and you see the men all snap to attention. Well, now, so that all may hear, so that all may know, I have been appointed regent of the free city of Greyhawk and its domain. Your past leaders, they are all dead. My father, the leaders of other nations are dead. I am here to save and protect you all. Obey me, survive, and thrive. Disobey, die terribly in revolt or at whatever is coming for you that I have been summoned to save you from. The Men snap to attention and begin to kind of rhythmically march off, and in a very prideful and arrogant way that's going to come as a shock to you all, Theron, arms back, cape blowing, that you would now realize is the cape for the royal colors of the House of Ernst, flap behind him as he proudly marches with his small little army up the dock, through the town, and up into the mountains from where you came from. Theron kind of just watches them go, shakes his head. I bet he told you some stories in there, did he? Short amount of time, just enough to...
This is something about abandonment to brigands, I believe, but we are not worried. We're ready to depart when you wish.
Oh yeah, those were good times. Those lads didn't quite mesh socially with us, as we say, and we felt that their trip would be best served being more of a scenic route through that island.
He spoke a lot about you, but he said more about himself with his words than he did about you.
I do wonder what happened to those lads we left on that island. I hope they're all right. A couple of the kind of walking about, working other Goliaths. I doubt, Captain. That was quite a while ago, and they were in pretty rough shape. Like, oh yeah, they were. That was great. Anyway, all right. So we are just about ready to take off. If you have no more personal business with those claiming to be regent of this and lord of that, captain of God knows what, commander of this, flagpole of that. Bow to me, my lord. Kind of indignant. Hoist the sails, lads. Let's go. Activity kind of going. Anchors being pulled up, ropes being taken off, sails dropping. As the boat kind of moves, boat's free, Captain. The wheel is yours. Big confident hand up on the giant wheel. Ship. Off we go, lads. Big cheer from the crowd. And as you kind of pull out of the dock and make like an easterly turn, you see the army like marching through the city. And as the boat pulls out, all the other ships that seem to have been waiting in the harbor all of a sudden drop their sails and take wind, and almost a race to get to what limited dock space they have. And the activity of the town becomes alive as people come out ready to unload all of the goods and whatever these ships may have. And you're going to make your way east. It's a beautiful fall day out on the ocean. Wind in your hair, smells like salt. Sun's out. The men dutifully carry about their business and their tasks as the crew of a sailing ship. And you're just going to kind of make your way leisurely east. Stormcaller just constantly on the wheel, knowing, doing, occasionally whispering some things to his first mate. But for the most part, everybody kind of leaves you be to yourselves on the deck with the captain. But they're all kind of busy doing, boat crew stuff. What do you guys want to do while the boat just kind of sails leisurely east?
I'll ask Selmy and Stormchaser, do you think it will be too much trouble if I tell a seagull to go tell that lord that he's a dick? Do you think he'll recognize my voice? Should I wait a little bit longer?
I think he might, yes. I don't wish to stir trouble with the regent of Greyhawk. Hopefully that is the last of him we will have to see, but somehow I think it's not.
Stormchaser is looking back at the dock, in the direction of the port that they just left, and says, I do not wish to return to Greyhawk. He not with that in charge.
Yeah, it's not gonna be a good place to return to.
Thankfully, our paths lie elsewhere. We have urgent, and now we are clear purpose. We no longer need to go to Ernst. We can
That's true.
focus our efforts upon our mentors.
Can probably get a seagull to go poop on him.
That would be good. Yes.
Okay, give me 10 minutes.
There was no one left alive in the hot springs, correct?
No, we had a few monsters just in case people went to check so that they knew there were monsters, so that it wasn't just our word. So there's some abominations that we left for proof of concept.
Just curious. Don't wish to be saddled with that. Whatever happened there with our names when he goes through.
That's true. I probably shouldn't have told that guy what I said. Oh well.
Yes. Well, at any rate.
The boat continues on through the day, reaching probably late afternoon. And the men seem very engaged. For Storm Chaser, this probably seems a bit odd given his own kind of personal feelings towards being on a ship and sailing. You recognize all of the hallmarks of the kind of Goliath tribal life, just slightly adapted to like a sailing vessel, and not the kind of typical, somewhat nomadic life that you live. All the hallmarks are there. All of the kind of side activities that you would do, all of the kind of chanting and singing, all the things that Goliath tribes are known for, just slightly riffed and different to kind of fit their current situation. Every once in a while, they kind of look over to you, curious as to your reaction, wondering if there's a judgment for them to kind of be so kind of, different from the traditional kind of cultural activities.
I think Selma will just find a place to sit and observe and just clear her mind or something. A lot has happened in the last week, and I think that would be a thing she would do.
Okay. Theron's going to offer Beck his cabin, still kind of distraught from the loss of his teacher. And if, just out of curiosity, my lady, I don't know if you've been on a ship before, but really, if you want the most solitude as well as the most exhilaration, might I offer you? And he's going to point all the way to the top of this 80-foot mast, what appears to be an unoccupied crow's nest. You can't beat the view from up there, my lady.
She looks at him and kind of swallows a little bit. That would be lovely, actually. I most at home in the forest, but this would not be unlike climbing the tallest tree to see my surroundings. I would like that very much.
I don't know much about climbing trees. They got to be quite large ones, but I imagine that the concept is the same. And he starts kind of showing her with his finger, like kind of the path up all the rigging and some of the netting, as you just kind of go up there and you follow that and you'll see the handhold there, put your foot there, and then just make your way up. And if it becomes too much for you, I may have ways to get you down, as it were.
Yes, very well. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
I think I will do that. And she'll kind of bow a little awkwardly and take her leave and make her way up the rigging and try to follow the path that he laid out for her.
Okay. You're going to make your way. His explanations were a little oversimplified. Some of the footholds and handholds are spaced apart much more for a Goliath. So the principles there, you kind of make it work. And as you get to the top of the mast, you can just see all across the water, just beautiful clear on your right side. You can see just the land go by. You're not too far from shore, but far enough. And off in the distance in front of you, almost like directly in front of you, there appears to be a large like outcropping of moss-covered rocks off in the distance. Theron's going to kind of still be very captain-y, kind of standing around, ordering stuff around. And he's going to look to Storm Chaser. What do you think, brother? We're not your typical bunch of giant kin, are we? Out here living our lives, doing our best. What do you think?
Well, Storm Chaser started off basically tracking Selmay's ascent to the crow's nest with no small measure of concern. And once that's done, he's basically just standing there with eyes closed, and you can tell that he's just kind of feeling the wind and the mist of the, with the passing waves and such. And he turns to, at the sound of Theron's voice, he says, this is glorious. Not quite mountain breeze, but this feels nice.
It's kind of liberating, isn't it, brother? We're out here. We are masters of our own destiny. We are not confined or treated differently. We are ourselves. We are our truest nature, giving and caring and adventure seeking, and even making our ways in the realms beyond ourselves. And you see him kind of straighten up his breastplate a little bit, flick his cape behind him, kind of loosen up his shoulders, put his head down, start to kind of chant in a language. And as he does, what's started off as a beautiful kind of sunny autumn day, the clouds start to roll in. The sun becomes obscured by them, and what was a nice little breeze for almost like a kind of leisurely sail has picked up and has become a full wind at the back of the ship. And within a few moments, the ship seems to be moving much faster. A couple minutes after that, even faster. Theron continues to kind of mutter things under his breath. Crack of lightning, big thunder off in the distance. The boat continues faster. Selmay up in the crow's nest might be a little concerned that the rock seems to be coming a little quicker.
She might want to make a determination if it's safer to stay put at this point or quickly descend. Based on her very limited, as in zero, sailing experience.
I'll let you go with nature. Kind of a survival.
Survival's cool, or maybe straight intelligence since I have no bonus.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've got some nature and some survival cooking there. Okay, so intelligence roll is a 5. So she's just kind of hanging on like...
Rock coming fast.
Yeah. She'll just point. That is rock! That is rock!
Theron, kind of unaware of anything and in his own little kind of trance, continues to mutter. The men, the Goliath seems to be moving still in an orderly fashion. Theron's deal does not seem to have alarmed anybody. They're going about their tasks as they have. And as this rock, large outcropping, seems to be coming closer, everybody give me a perception check, please.
I have a 9.
Ooh,
Okay.
natural 20.
Ooh.
It's a good roll.
Is it though?
Ooh,
Yeah, maybe we don't want to see.
total of 20.
Okay. Up in the crow's nest, the wind quite intense up there. Selmay's going to mostly just hear like just the wind gusts, the thunder, and the lightning. Lampis and Storm Chaser on the deck nearest to Theron will start to hear a beautiful song seemingly out of place in what apparently has become a small little storm out in the water. And the rock's going to be coming ever closer, ever closer. And the song is going to get louder and louder. I need Lampis and Storm Chaser to give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Ah,
I hear a siren's call. Wisdom saving throw. So that's a 13.
I got a 19.
Ooh, okay. You manage to kind of hear this song, and both of you, seemingly aware of its source, manage to prepare your mind to counter the noted song of the siren and shake it and not let it affect you. As you look around, none of the men of the storm giant seem to be affected. However, Theron seems ever committed to his chanting, and the boat continues to pick up speed.
I want to go to the first mate or get close to him and just tap him and we're going to a rock. Somebody said so a rock. We're going to it.
He looks at Theron. I'm going to go ahead and say Captain knows what he's doing. And until the captain orders me to do something, we follow the captain's lead.
Okay.
And
I'll cast message at Selmy and say, it seems like Theron knows what he's doing, so hang tight, I hope, I guess. You're muted.
Okay. Okay. So the boat continues on its path unabated. At this point, even somebody with the most rudimentary knowledge of physics is going to see that this rock is A, in front of you, B, coming very quickly, and C, nobody seems to be at the wheel of the ship or care the fact that this rock is A, right in front of you, B, coming very quickly, and C, nobody's at the wheel.
All right. Well, in that case, Storm Chaser is staring, and and he growls something and in Goliath and says, "Babin!" and kind of shoves him, and trying to figure out this wheel, figures, one side's as good as one direction's as good as any, and just starts trying to turn.
As you bump Theron, he's going to kind of come out of his trance and look around. Oh, sorry there, lads. Should have told you what we were doing. I've got this.
Rock!
And he's going to politely take Storm Chaser's hand off the wheel. He's going to spin it real hard. Snap. Sun's going to come out. The wind's going to die. The boat is going to turn very quickly 90 degrees and broadside this rock. And by this point, you've seen 3 sirens just sitting there doing siren stuff. And as the boat comes around, everybody ready, lads. 1, 2, 3. And you hear thunk, 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 thunk. Wood slapping into wood on the side of the boat. And ready? 1, 2, 3. and just thunk, 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 as crossbow strings go from taut to loose, bolts coming out of the side of the boat, striking all of the sirens, giving out hideous screeches. I'm going to need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw again, please.
I'd like to do this at advantage, considering we had to listen to Lord Big Wind talk for half an hour. I mean, this couldn't possibly be that bad.
Are these?
Actually, I'm going to use one of my advantages for real, because I've got so many of them built up at this point.
Are these against Charmed by any chance?
Yes.
Okay, so I get advantage as an elf. Wow.
Wow, that was a whole lot of nothing burger.
I have a feeling those are two different wows.
I just rolled double ones.
I rolled. What was that? I mean, did you put a curse on us? Because I rolled an advantage and I rolled a 4 and a 1.
Wow. Okay. So dice tell the tale. What happens?
Loppies, what'd you get?
18. I've heard better.
All you get is advantage against the saving throw. That's it.
Yeah, and I rolled a pair of ones. So I feel
Okay.
I feel like I didn't save maybe.
So the song is going to pierce your head against your judgment and your awareness of what it probably is. The seemingly sudden surprise by Theron's crew with what appear to be crossbows out the side of the ship and slaughtering these sirens as they sit on their rock. Their just painful, agonist scream has pierced your head despite you knowing what it is. And you are going to be charmed. You're just going to kind of stop caring about what's going on and just kind of enjoy the music. Storm Chaser, you got a 4?
Yeah.
All right. Same thing, but much higher off the ground. You're going to be, you're just physically, I forgot she's in the crow's nest. Just this like deafening, screeching shrill is going to become exceptionally melodic and beautiful. And you almost feel as if you would fight to have this song continue. Theron still on the wheel, making dramatic moves. Hang on, lads. It'll just be another minute. 1, 2, 3. And another round of crossbow bolts fire out of the broadside of the ship. The screeching intensifies for a brief moment and then dies away as the sirens are silenced. Selmay and Storm Chaser are going to go from loving this song to feeling like they've lost a couple of seconds. Things aren't quite where you remember it. You feel as almost as if you just spaced out for a second.
Storm Chaser pauses mid pirouette. What?
Off to the side, you'll see the sirens shot full of crossbow bolts, and Theron looking over the side to see that his job is done. All right, lads, they won't be bothering any more sailors anytime soon. Back at it. And everything kind of goes back, and you continue on eastwardly for... sorry about that, lads. They've been, they're all over the place here, and we like to take care of them so that other sailing vessels don't run afoul of the rocks. Usually, if we go in full steam right at them, they think that we've bought their nonsense, and then we turn around and give them the surprise of their lives. Now they're all dead. Sorry, that's probably a bit dramatic. Especially after hearing what's his name go on and on about how I'm not trustworthy and how I might just wreck you or leave you on an island. But here we are.
It was a little bit harrowing experience. Lapis is gonna go to somewhere that nobody can see him and precipitate his pants clean and then come back. It was fine. It was entertaining and exhilarating. Scary as fuck, but it's fine. It's good. It's great. It'll keep me up at night.
The rest of the afternoon and into the early evening kind of continues on, rather uneventful, relatively, obviously. And as you kind of make your way, the shoreline and the coast, ever present on your right side, you pass a small little city, slightly bigger than Elmshire, or slightly smaller than Elmshire. It looks to be your traditional kind of port town, boats coming and going. Everybody seemingly giving the storm giant a wide berth at sea. And as you kind of make your way past that town and darkness sort of sets in, the men suddenly go quiet, and there's not that kind of ruckus work atmosphere of them being part of the crew. They all seem to make very simple movements and try to be exceptionally quiet, not only in their speech to each other, but in their movements. Nobody clamoring around the deck or running really quickly. And off in the distance, another town. And he looks there and kind of looks as the whole crew looks out one side of the boat as this one town passes. Sorry about this. The men are very superstitious around this town, and I think they have right to be.
Yeah, what happened there? Why makes them so suspicious about it?
Off just a little bit offshore, probably a couple hundred yards, what seemed like a lighthouse. Is that the word? Lighthouse. Off on a kind of isolated rock outcropping in the harbor of this town. As it's gotten closer, it seems to be exceptionally elaborate and well appointed for something as kind of functional as a lighthouse. Also, there's not a light on it currently in the dark. It would be handy if it was. And as he kind of points it out, he's like, it's not so much the town. It's that tower, that wizard's tower. Always a bad portent for the men. We hate coming this way, but lately we've been lucky that it's been empty, and the men still don't want to tempt it lest he get in their minds or hear what they're saying. So we'll be by here in just a moment.
Well, wizards are complicated people. Your crew is probably right. Wizards are the worst.
And
except
so
for one.
If here's the kind of the tower and the ships passing this way, just as you kind of come like almost perfectly laterally with it, the top of it erupts in this giant flame, illuminating hundreds of yards in a radius from it, all the way to the shore of the town, and even so much so onto the ship that you all have to squint a little bit. Following the light on the top, it just seems to kind of take this magical kind of arcane energy veins that seem to be woven into the stone in a kind of copperish fashion. And the apartment at the top, if you will, comes to life. And the men, as every kind of instance happens, get ever more tense. And you start to hear them going, he's back. He's back. And finally, Theron kind of looks. All right, lads. Hard out to sea. Tense is home. And that's where we'll leave it for today.
Camera closes on. Lappy's flipping off the lighthouse as we float off.
So geographically, you would be about to Mage Point. which is the town, and then Tenser's Castle is like just offshore. So I always have it pictured as like this weird, creepy lighthouse befitting of your, well, I won't say your favorite NPC now.
Our patron.
Yeah, I think Barrick's kind of taking that crown today.
Oh my god. Hey, your dad's dead. Yeah, well, he had it coming. Oh, fuck.
What was Lord Brecken's last name? Was it Lornar?
Lornar.
Okay, I got it right. I just always take copious notes. So.
Yeah. So yeah, another session. Well, no, this is the first full session without a dead body, right?
Yeah,
the one time we actually wanted a dead body.
The sirens.
Little touch and go there.
Yeah, a little bit of tension, some new people, maybe some doubts planted amongst the party, just because the Justicar is an asshole doesn't mean he's not telling the truth.
Yeah.
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 That doesn't.
Right.
Those two ideas are not, mutually exclusive.
Yeah, he's just wrapping his message in poop.
Yeah. All right. As always, another great session. I do love this game. I do 3 games a week. This is the first one for my week, and this always gets my week started on such a great note. So as always, thank you to our amazing players. Thank you to everybody who watched today. Before we get out of here, let's meet the actual people behind these great characters who, the more I get to know them, the more I see nuggets of themselves in. Lapis is definitely Will's kind of playful, poking the bear kind of antagonistic side that I've come
How did
to.
he make it until 80? I don't know, man. That guy wants trouble.
I mean, the casino, everybody was probably used to you.
Yeah, probably.
All right, so Lapis, tell us about Will.
Will is much less confrontational than Lapis. Lapis has a death wish. Will does not. I think so. I don't know. I haven't met a royal yet. I am on Twitter as Will_Knight3. You can find me there. I talk about D&D or nothing. Depends on the mood. And that's me. I'm a translator by day, since Louis is not here. Translator by day and also by night.
Awesome.
Depending on the work.
So Storm Chaser, the men got really quiet. The lighthouse lit up. And the big reveal at the end of the episode was that it was Tenser's mage tower. And and he has returned home.
Yeah, I actually heard all of it.
Okay.
Sorry, I had to step away. I was like, those of you who had visiting Mordor on your bingo card, give it a half a scratch. So, I mean, there was no death in this game that kind of this particular session. That not to say that there probably shouldn't have been, but yes. So anyway, I am Rob Phantom NJ. I am Phantom NJ _D&D on Twitter, and I am proud to say that I'm getting much better about that. You can find me basically all around the Greyhawk community. If there's Greyhawk going on, I'm probably there. So you can find me in the wonderful little community that Scott has built here at the Wily Hobbit Discord and Twitch stream and Twitch channel. So thank you, Manny. Another great session. Thank you, my fellow players, because it's a lot of fun playing with you guys, playing off each other.
All right, I'm Manny at Growed Up Geek on your social medias, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. When I'm not here with these great gentlemen doing our little Greyhawk thing, I run a Rhyme of the Frostmaiden show on Tuesday nights on my Twitch channel, Growed Up Geek. And then Wednesday nights, I do a show with one shot every week, rotating players, narratives that are easy to follow. And pretty soon we're going to be coming up on a themed month and a half of Ravenloft campaigns, which leads to a Ravenloft compendium that Will and I worked on together, Esmeralda's Dossier of Dread, available now on the Dungeon Masters Guild. 40 NPCs for your Ravenloft campaign. They're all great. I'm not saying that just because I worked on it with like people way more talented than me, but it is legit great. If you love Ravenloft, go check it out. It's at Dungeon Masters Guild now. And to everybody, my players, everybody who tuned in today, thank you so much for coming out on a Sunday to watch us with a lot of Greyhawk options out there. We thank you for picking us. And we'll throw it to Wiley to get us out of here. And we'll see you all next week for episode 11.
11, yeah. Pretty cool. All right. Thank you, everybody. Really fun session. Manny, thanks a lot, man. That was really great. Had a blast. And, of course, Will and Rob, and we'll hopefully catch Lewis next week. So Wiley Hobbit, I put the game schedule in there. We do play Monday nights at 7, and we play again 7:30. We play again Wednesday nights at 7. Both of those games are in Forgotten Realms. We are going to go ahead and do a raid, so hang loose so we can give D&D Play 20 a little bit of noise. There's some friends of ours, a handful of them played in our Jasper's Game Day game back in February, helped us raise a bunch of money, so we like to kind of support them as well. Just a quick...
They might be doing a replay. They might be doing a rerun, I'm not sure.
They're live. According to my raid thingy, they're live. So hopefully with any luck, let me look on Twitch also. Little bit of news, just quickly. Oh, now it's looking like they're doing a replay. So there you go. Cancel one raid. Little bit of news. We are, by we, I mean Mateus and I, a friend of mine from the Greyhawk community, are putting together a new podcast to highlight, explain, enjoy, share the world of Greyhawk, the setting that we're playing in. And so the name of the podcast is Greycast, and it should start dropping episodes here in a few more weeks. We're trying to get a bunch of them done and recorded so that when we start dropping them every other Monday, we'll have a nice pile of them built up so that we don't have pressure to produce weekly. So just kind of keep an eye out for that. You'll be able to get them early on Spotify. We're dropping them through Anchor, which starts with Spotify, but as episodes drop, you'll start to be able to find it pretty much anywhere you can get a podcast. So keep an eye out for Greycast, and that'll be pretty cool. So thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Any other words of wisdom? Last words for the good of the order?
Thanks, everybody. Hopefully dead bodies next week for those of you disappointed that there weren't any.
Yeah, that's the first out of 10 episodes we haven't had dead bodies.
One session we went dead people, it's this Lord, and it wasn't. Manny, what are you doing?
Yep, he's messing with
us. Subverting expectations.
Meanwhile, awesome. Stormchaser is going to go learn how to read so he can try to find the definition of personal freedom, because
Gonna take issue with that?
I don't think that was it.
Not my cup of tea, that's for sure. All right, well, thanks to Fellowship at the Tables and to Rob, Phantom NJ, for dropping some gift subs. Very much appreciated. Kind of cool. We had a hype train. I'm not sure we've ever had a hype train, so that was pretty awesome. And we will see everybody next week at 1 o'clock Eastern Time for Greyhawk Lives. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out.
Thanks, everybody.